Rideshare buddy out on the road, helping each other lighten the load. Tips and tricks, yeah, the knowledge flows in this grind where the journey glows.
Hi and welcome back to Rideshare Buddy UK. My name's Kevin. I haven't done a ride-along video for a little while, a few weeks. So it's just a general ride-along video. I'm currently in Newport. I haven't decided if I'm going to stay in Newport yet. I may go to Chepstow because they've got the show jumping on at the David Broom Centre. And if I work over that way, Caldicott, Chepstow, then when it comes for lunchtime, I can go and spend an hour watching the show jumping, have some lunch down at the restaurant, the cafe there, burger van, and have a bit of a break with the horses before I start the second half of the shift. Haven't decided. Just in Cardiff. It's 10:05, so an early start for me. I'm not planning on... I'm not planning on working tomorrow because we have the cycling racing around Newport and Cardiff. So loads of road closures, loads of traffic, slow moving. I'll take the day off tomorrow, Sunday. But today is Saturday, the 6th of September. I had a good day yesterday, filled with private airport work. So did a couple of jobs on Uber coming back as I came down from Chepstow. So I think I did about £12.50, something like that, on Uber yesterday. And 250 on airport ones. So today I want to try and make £150, mainly because I've got lots of money owing to me in account work, not a great deal of money actually coming in cash. So it'll be nice for me to put an extra £150 into the bank today if I can do a decent Uber day. We shall see. But we'll do a chat as well today, giving you an update 7 on the road rage attack and some interesting things ever developed on that one, mainly because I've now got a solicitor to deal with the police investigation rather than my own private prosecution, which has been dealt with a specialist private prosecution company in London. I'm getting all the evidence for that to myself because that's where the costs really mount. As soon as all the evidence is in, which it is, when I'm ready to go, I'll send all the paperwork down to this specialist company in London who deals in private prosecutions, and they'll do the actual court work while I do the legwork, and that's going to save me about £5-6 grand in costs. So we'll have a chat about the police aspect of it because things have moved on a little bit. Well, yes and no they have, but we'll have a chat about that in a little bit. But at the moment, I don't know where to go to start my shift. Shall I go down to Dufferin? Shall I go out to Mega? I don't need charging. I've got 80% charge. I charged up last night on the way back from Bristol Airport. Down at Cribs Causeway, I charged up to 90%. I've got 80% left. 252 miles on the charge. So let's go to Dufferin, see if there's any work coming out of Dufferin, and then we'll make a change if needed. Oh, well, that's interesting. I've just logged on, and Newport is in red surge. Didn't realise it'd be less busy on a Saturday morning. But we shall see what happens for the rest of the day.
The sun dips low, but the road feels high. Cardiff whispers as I pass by. Every turn's a story waiting to unfold. Caerphilly's castle, glowing gold. Rolling hills keep chasing me through the lanes of mystery. Seaside winds and streets alive. South Wales Saturday, I feel the drive. A coffee cup and a smile to spare. Pick up dreams, drop off somewhere. Roundabout spinning like a carousel. Every rider's tale, a secret to tell. The road hums low like a mellow song. Each mile feels right, nothing feels wrong. Past the valleys where the rivers play, I'll keep rolling till the end of day. South Wales Saturday, wheels on fire. Windows down, chasing the choir of seaside winds and streets alive. South Wales Saturday, I feel the drive.
Right, that's not been too bad the first section of my shift. It's just gone 2:30. I think I started about 10:05. So I've been out 4.5 hours. I've done 8 jobs and £111.84 in 4.5 hours. Happy with that. I'm getting a little bit peckish. It is 2:30. So, loads of police around. I think Newport is playing at home today. So, plenty of police around. Loads of them. Hundreds of them. But let's go and get something to eat. Let's go down to Greg's. Have a healthy taxi driver or rideshare driver lunch of a sausage roll, custard slice, and mint lemonade. Do me well. And then we'll have a chat about the current situation regarding my road rage attack that happened at Newport Railway Station. Right, so let's do update number 7 on the road rage attack down at Newport Railway Station back in June. But it's a police investigation which is really taking the time. For the last 2 months they've been waiting on the medical reports. I can't go into direct detail. There's no charges been laid yet anyway, so it's open to discussion. But I don't want to go into too big a detail as to what happens, because if they do go for prosecution and against him, then I don't want to have too much detail out into the public open for them then to be able to claim they can't have a fair trial, therefore should not be a trial. So I'm not going to be showing videos, I'm not going to be showing too much details or talking too much. I'm not going to be naming anybody. I'm just going to do a general one. Now, once the guy is charged, if he's charged, whether I charge him or the police charge him, once the guy is charged, you can then legally name him, put in the charge details, put in the address, and also the date and time and the place of the offence. And that's it until after the court case. But no charges have been laid anywhere yet, so we are free to talk within reason, bearing in mind not upsetting the trial, fair trial principles. So for the last 2 months, we've been waiting for his medical claims, injuries claims, and stuff like that. So the police have been waiting for him because he's classed as a victim at the moment, to submit those claims to him so they can then go to the next stage, which is to interview me. Now, you can get medical records without too much of a problem, and the NHS is required to provide them within a month of submitting your request. Now, they also have a guidance of 2 weeks if it's related to a criminal offence. So if you've got a crime number, the NHS, although legally obliged to do it within 4 weeks, try and do it within a couple of weeks. This is why after I had my examination from the doctors at the hospital, Grange Hospital, I submitted a request for a copy of the records, gave them a police number, and I had it in 2 weeks. But, you know, we're now 3 months on, waiting for the other party's medical records. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had an old colleague of mine out for dinner, who was chatting, and she's a solicitor. She's actually trained to be a magistrate. She's a solicitor, and she works for a charity, a legal advocacy for wildlife crime and environmental crime. So, while she's a criminal lawyer, she doesn't deal with street crime like what I was involved with. But talk to her about the price of rhino horn per ounce, and she knows a lot. Legal crime, the wildlife, international trade in wildlife, import, export, and stuff like that. She knows it. But she's trained to be a magistrate, so she knows a little bit about the situation as to what happened. She saw the video, and she could not believe, this is 2 weeks ago, she could not believe that I was being a suspect and the other guy was being classed as a victim. She couldn't believe it. And she said to me, you've got to get a solicitor to deal with this right now. You don't waste time with the police. Get a solicitor involved right now and get this thing moving. I said, yeah, but I mean, basically what I'm just trying to do is to time out the offence, you know. The assault is a summary charge at the magistrates, and after 6 months, they can delay it for 6 months, the charge goes away. She goes, no, this is quite a serious beating. He was totally innocent, he did nothing, was unprovoked. This was a prolonged beating, both with fists and headbutts, that went on for a number of minutes. The likelihood is the magistrate will refer it to Crown Court. She'll say, from her training and stuff like that, she'll say the starting point of punishment at this would probably be about 5 years inside. And then they'll do mitigation and drop it down to lower and lower and lower. And if he pleads early guilty, if he's got strong reasons why he lost his nut and stuff like that, it can all be reduced. But she reckons probably about 5 years as a starting point for the length of beating. And she said that's outside the remit of magistrates, so the magistrate is most likely to refer this up to Crown Court. So that's 6 months. It's an either way charge. 6 months doesn't really matter. But she said, you've got to get this sorted. You know, this is not right. You should not be in any way being the suspect on this. He really should not be classed as a victim, so get a solicitor. So I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks. Then a couple of days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago, the police officer, we're not really on great terms, contacted me saying he thinks he's finally got hold of the medical records and the interview will be within about a week or so. So I replied back to him. I said, well, I won't hold my breath. This guy is up for delaying tactics, and I think he's just going to delay it until the charge runs out. I wasn't particularly Well, I was straightforward. That's what I said. I was like, I shan't hold my breath. To which he responded, I was talking about the other guy wasting time, not him, the police officer. To which he replied, I don't know what you mean by this delaying tactics. I hope you realise I am being very professional in my job. I am doing this, blah, 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 blah. Really quite took offence to it. It wasn't directed at him. I was saying the other guy, it's worth him trying to run the time down. So I thought, well, I ain't going to get involved in this. Not with the police. So I contacted the solicitor, criminal law solicitor, one of the biggest in South Wales, and asked him to sort of take on the responsibility for that with the police. So I sent him 2 days ago. I think I sent him the video. And the very next day, by lunchtime, I'd had a reply from him. He said, I've looked at the video. You've done nothing wrong. I don't see what the issue is. We'll talk at the interview. I have suggested to the police officer, I have talked to him and I've suggested to him that he brings in the other person, the other man involved needs to be brought in, questioned under caution with a view to prosecution. Simple statement, which he did at home. Probably the police having a nice cup of coffee and cake from his wife, while he sort of patted around her, saying, we don't want this guy to lose his job and get done for dangerous driving. Have a chat to him and see if he'll do a deal whereby I'll drop the dangerous drive charge if he drops the assault charge. Because that's what the police officer came out to me for a few weeks ago to make the offer. Yeah, I said, no, the guy knows he's cooked. He really does. So the police officer, the defendant, the solicitor is going to go on the case. So he said that the police officer has said, remember, he told me about a week and I'll have an interview. He's told the solicitor, and remember I said, I shan't hold my breath. He said 2 to 3 weeks before he'll have the detail. And maybe a bit longer for having a time slot for the interview. So the solicitor has said he's going to be chasing up the police next week to make sure that they are on the job of getting the details, that they are going to bring the other guy in for questioning and under caution. And he said, we'll sort this out when the interview takes place. We'll sort it out and don't worry about it. So I've also chatted to somebody else who's involved in law and is a lawyer. He's a barrister. He's a regular passenger that I pick up. And I was just chatting saying, and he said, I don't know any of the details, but from what you tell me, I suggest you go get legal advice regarding action against the police. The police have not acted responsibly in this case. But that's all I'm going to tell you. He said, go and talk to a specialist solicitor. So I can see some sort of a case going against the police after all this is sorted as well. This is not right. Police treat taxi drivers like crap. They treat rideshare drivers like crap. They have no interest in protecting you. You got the local authorities saying, get CCTV involved. They'll protect you, they'll support you, they'll make sure you're not attacked. You got all the full professional CCTV footage, and the police don't give a shit. So, yeah, waste of money CCTV is. Well, actually it's not, because it's going to help me get a private prosecution. But, yeah, that's the update. Update number 7. It's still ongoing. But it is coming to a close. I'm sure it will do in the next couple of months. Things are going to move. Now I've got some solicitors on the private prosecution, and solicitors are now dealing with the police. I don't need to worry about it. So that's an update of where we're at. It's 3:30. Let's log on again and let's see what we can do this afternoon. I do want to get out to Newport because of the traffic. So I might head down to Caldicott, Mega Way, and see if I can get some work out Chepstow, because I know there's a few weddings on in Chepstow today. and that might be worth a trip out. So let's head off. Let's head off first to Mega, see what we can pick up, and let's hit our 150 target for the day. Oh, I just want to add, after all of that ranting, I don't actually blame the police officer himself for being taken in and fooled by this other person, or being played with by this other person. I blame the Tories, because they have basically hollowed out British policing. So all of the experienced coppers, all those reviewers behind them, all those who can see through a front, have been got rid of because they were too expensive to keep. And now what we have is a very youthful police force, mainly predominantly people in their early to mid-20s, no experience, no real experience of life, no real experience of dealing with deceitful people. And so they get taken in easily. And I think that's what's happened in this case. The guy has been a little bit naive, shall we say. Not his fault. He's still a young man. He should still be under mentorship by a senior officer or senior sergeant that he used to have. But we don't have that anymore. What we have is a bunch of graduates parachuted straight into the top jobs, and young people doing the footwork where they haven't got the mentorship, they haven't got the experience, and they're basically just doing tick-box exercise books. That's the state of British policing today, unfortunately. You know what? The more this goes on, I mean, I had planned on having a nice, easy retirement. I'm 63, winding down, doing some Uber driving, having a bit of fun, paying for some nice holidays. I am seriously. Well, let's do that. I'm at Mega. And I've just got to make it to Chepstow, so let's go for that one. But as I say, I'm seriously thinking of going into politics, because we need reform in this country.
Up another ping to pull through Chepstow streets where the river bends, chasing fares and the road never ends. Every roundabout feels like a wheel of chance. Every turn's another midnight dance. I'm chasing targets, chasing cash through South Wales streets, burning fast. From Newport lights to the Severn breeze, I'm an Uber dreamer, rolling free. Rain on the glass, but I know the way. Past hills and castles through the night and day. Voices fade, but the miles stay near. The road's my compass, the song I hear. Highway signs, they call my name. Fuel and fire in this driving game. Chepstow nights, Cardiff dreams. Life's more than money, it's the road it seems. I'm chasing targets, chasing cash through South Wales streets, burning fast. From Newport lights to the Severn breeze, I'm an Uber dreamer, rolling free. Rolling free.
Right, that's me finished for the day. It's 20 to 8, but I'm about 20 minutes from home, so by the time I get home it'll be 8 o'clock. Started at 10, so just after 10, call it 10. Had an hour's break, so I've done 9 hours, and I've finished on £206.24. So the Chepstow session was a good session as well. So overall, after all my expenses and deductions and stuff, I would say I've probably cleared the equivalent of just over £13 an hour. So yeah, very happy with today. We've had a good day. Kept right out of Newport, which was really busy with traffic and stuff. So let's just pull over and I'll show you the actual scoreboard of Uber. I've done 14 completed trips, coming up to £206. So I'll just find somewhere to pull over, then I'll show you the screenshot so you can see that I'm being truthful. Okay, so I'm finally home. It's 5 to 8. That's what I've done. 206.24 in 9 hours. But this is something interesting. I don't know if you can see it. That top busy area is Chepstow, and that little bottom busy area is Cardiff. It's basically where the David Broom horse show jumping is, and they've got a big festival on today. First time I've seen Chepstow and Cardiff, or Portskewitt, showing as busy on the Uber app. On a busy race day, you might get a little bit of surge red in Chepstow for a short time, but that's been on there in a in a blue surge for 40 minutes. The only thing I can think of is the one at Portskewitt or down Caldecott way. That green blob there is the St Pierre Hotel and Golf Club. The Caldecott Portskewitt one, all I can think of is that it's the festival on at the David Broom Centre, and people are going off for something to eat and stuff like that because they camp there and have the motorhomes and stuff. So they'll be going out for meals and stuff. The one in Chepstow is actually at Chepstow Racecourse because they've got Into the Woods Dance Music Festival on this weekend. Ends tonight at midnight, so it's going to be really busy at midnight out that way. But that's been busy pretty much all day, really. But I think it's a festival, a dance festival, that's caused it. But Tinton is also really, really busy at the moment because I think there's a walking festival on, and it kept me quite busy at Tinton today. So yeah, very good. 206.24, 14 trips in total today. I'm a happy chappy. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Until the next video. Oh, just one last thing. Let's have a quick look at this. My mileage is 99,989. Yeah, 99,989. I've got 22% charge left and 67 miles left in the clock. So I think it's on, I can't remember, I think it's Tuesday, the car goes in for 100,000 miles service. 100,000 miles. So once that's done, I will do a full video on the car and how I think it's worked well now that I've got 100,000 miles on it. So I'm very impressed with it. The battery capacity has lost practically nothing. It has a little bit, but not much at all. I do get frustrated in the winter, but we'll talk all about that when I do the 100,000 mile review of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So thanks, have a good weekend, enjoy your week, stay safe, and happy driving.